Since our last report, the Calcasieu Parish District Attorney has weighed in, saying their office will not be filing charges in this case. They say they don't have evidence the driver did anything wrong. Because of that, KPLC will not be naming the person who was behind the wheel. The crash happened on Big Lake Road in Lake Charles just after 11 p.m. Newly released body camera footage shows state police investigating, taking witness statements, marking the scene with spray paint, checking the tread on the vehicle's tires. But it's what wasn't done that's now in question.
I don't think he did him any favors. What he did was cause me to have to be here to talk about the shadow of doubt that has been cast.
We know Kaylee Fontenot was given a toxicology test, but the driver was not. But we want to stress, both the troopers on the scene and the expert we spoke to agree the driver did not appear to be impaired. Our expert, Steve Thompson, is a retired Louisiana State Trooper with an extensive background in law enforcement, including certification as a drug recognition expert, evaluating impaired drivers. He's also a professor at McNeese, teaching students about criminal investigations and ethics.
And after reviewing all the evidence available, I believe that at least common sense would tell you that the reason that that person was not properly investigated was due to a personal relationship.
In the body camera footage, you can hear the driver speaking with the trooper in charge, though we're told there is no clear-cut policy that a trooper should recuse themselves from an investigation should they have a personal connection. Our expert felt the trooper let that relationship affect the way he investigated the crash. At one point, you can hear the troopers discussing how to classify the crash, and they decided it would be a Code C, meaning a minor injury crash.
She's talking. She's alert.
She's talking? Okay.
But severe head trauma, compound fracture, and go to the bone.
They were like pulled her skin away from her scalp, but besides that, it's looking like just broken bones.
She got blood holes.
So we're gonna roll with a Code C.
This is important because once it's labeled a serious injury crash, troopers have more responsibilities on scene to ensure a fair investigation.
It's not hard to identify it as a serious injury crash. You have a pedestrian that's thrown over 20 feet. You have a crushed, full-size 8,000 plus sport utility vehicle, crushed metal, that could not even be driven from the scene.
State law also spells out what a serious injury crash is. Criteria includes severe lacerations, broken extremities, suspected skull or chest injuries, all of which Fontenot had, and the video shows.
You will not move again, baby. You're gonna split your skin open and your bone's gonna stick through your skin. You gotta stop, okay?
We're told it's state police protocol to at least ask the driver if they were drinking or if they'd voluntarily submit to a test, and that didn't happen.
Even with an investigation into impairment, which should have included a standardized field sobriety test, and even if that was done and there was no evidence of impairment like which was discussed, it is still required to offer a voluntary test to the driver.
We asked Thompson if he doesn't think the driver was impaired. Why does it matter how the crash was investigated, as a serious or non-serious injury crash?
You want those state police troopers to do a fair and impartial investigation, no matter who ran them over. You want all the facts. Me as a state trooper, owed the family a good investigation, professionalism. Do it by the book, and that didn't happen here.
We asked state police if they've investigated or are currently investigating any troopers' actions in this case. They said no, there was no wrongdoing with the investigation of this crash. Jade Moreau, 7 News.